What's going on, Cali K9 family? Today I want to go over 5 of the most important training tools that you'll need to train your dog. I believe that all of these 5 tools are essential. I know sometimes people try to wing it with one thing or the other. If you have all 5, it's like you're going to go do a job. You want to make sure that you have the right tools for the job. And these are going to be the top 5 tools that I recommend for you. So make sure to like, comment, and smash that subscribe button, guys. I'm growing my channel. I'm bringing all my new content to you guys, just like I do on Instagram. I'm bringing long form versions of it, lots of explanation. It does not stop, it won't stop, and let's get it popping. All right, so first tool that you're going to need when you're training your dog. I think you should have a bait bag, a treat bag of some sort that's gonna carry your reward. Now, I like to train with food because dogs will work easy for food. If they're hungry, they'll work. And when I'm first teaching a dog things, I like to use something that they like, something that's gonna keep them motivated. And again, like I said, a hungry dog will be willing to work, and I can start shaping that dog's behavior, showing it new things, and really making sure that it understands that it could get a piece of food, then it has to come again for something else. Because once it swallows the food and you have the dog engaged in that food drive, they're gonna want another piece, right? So by having your treat bag allows you to keep all your food, whether you're feeding your dog raw, whether you're feeding your dog kibble, whether you're feeding your dog freeze-dried, all of it can go in a treat bag. There's various pouches. I like the ones that kind of collapse and can close and open and are easily washable. Another option is to maybe have a bib, and you can actually get these from Home Depot. The same thing you put nails in, you can actually put treats in. So that's an option, as well as a training vest. And then you can have different pockets in there, but definitely have somewhere to store your treats and your rewards. Sometimes it's cool when you have a vest because you could keep balls and you can keep treats over here and one over here, and you can get Tugs back here. So those are great, but the main one is gonna be that treat bag so you can keep your rewards nice and organized. So the next tool that I'm gonna need is gonna be a slip collar. Now, I like to use a slip collar, number one, because it's a lot easier to work with. Sometimes a pinch collar could be very clunky. Trying to take it on and off. You do have ones that snap, but for certain people, it could be a little tough. I like to use a slip collar because I can make leash pressure and I can make correction with that same collar. The main thing you have to focus on when you have a slip leash is keeping it up high enough, so you want to keep it taut, not so tight, but taut where it can sit on the neck and kind of right behind the head. So I like to use that one. Again, I don't train my dog yanking them around. It's really just as a lead. I'll be doing most of my guiding with lure, so I'll be able to just keep a connection with the dog and be able to add pressure and subtract pressure. If you want to have a happy dog, then make sure you have motivation and you have your leash pressure, and you have your slip leash, and your slip leash is going to be a way just to be connected to your dog. And you can still make corrections and apply leash pressure with the slip leash. The next tool I think you should have is a training box. Now, the reason why we use the box, so many different reasons. We like to have an elevated platform. It's the first step of agility, number one. Number two, it's the first step of compliance. It keeps your dog straight. It keeps your dog in an exact place. It keeps your dog with better posture. It gives your dog more clarity. It's distraction free, where they don't have a bunch of odors and scents from the ground and the grass. There's so many reasons to use a position box. I like to use it when I'm teaching the front position or finding the heel position. I teach to sit down and stand in the box because it keeps the dog very straight. And then when I tell the dog to down, he goes backwards. And when I tell him to stand, he comes forward. And then when I tell him to sit, it's all right there in the box. So we have a Cali K9 position box. It basically is a box with an open end, and we first train on top of the box, then we flip the box over and we train in the box, and then it allows us to just create an easier learning process for the dog. And it's a great tool to use. I highly recommend the training box. The next thing that we also use in addition to the training box is the touch pad, because it teaches your dog rear end awareness. You're able to put the front feet on the touch pad while making sure the back feet can pivot and move around the box. So that's great when you're making left turns. It also is great as a graduation from the box. Then you kind of go to the touch pad and then you can phase it out. Right, but the touchpad is also a great tool to have. So the box and the touchpad, a great combo. Again, I phase a lot of this stuff out eventually, but when I'm in the learning phase in the early stages of training, highly recommend utilizing your box and your touchpad. Great tools to have. Definitely think you should have them in your toolbox if you're gonna train, especially with young dogs. It just helps them process things easier. It keeps it fun. It keeps it very black and white, and it's just helpful as a training aid. The next tool that I recommend is your crate. A crate gives your dog an opportunity to go chill out. It keeps your dog out of trouble. It gives them their little den they can go hang out in. I do believe that you should exercise your dog vigorously if you are crate training though, because you don't want to just take a dog with all this energy and just always pop him in a crate. You want to make sure you get the dog tired so the dog will just maybe sleep in his crate. It allows you to travel a lot easier. It allows you to, put your dog and travel in a car with your dog without, with more safety. So many reasons why a crate is a super good tool. You need to make sure that you have a crate. Create a positive association for the crate. Feed them in the crate. Give them their chew toys in the crate. Build up the duration slowly, but eventually dogs can stay in the crate for a good amount of time, right? Sometimes up to 8 hours, right? But if your dog is gonna chew up your house, then you need to have your dog crate trained, like very necessary until you can trust him in the house. So love having a crate. Always like to have high quality crates. Sometimes the wire crates tend to be a little flimsy and the dogs sometimes can work their way out of them. So you have to really make sure that if you have a real strong kind of vigor and strong dog that likes to escape, then you probably need to get like a plastic crate that has a lot more support. Sometimes when you use the metal crates, they tend to bend and they're a little flexible. And if a dog gets a little inch, they'll take a mile and they'll bust out of that crate and they can possibly hurt themselves in the process. So be careful not to get some of these designer crates where you have like something that's like a ornament in your house, because those are not necessarily meant to keep a dog in and kind of contained, but sometimes they don't put enough emphasis on the support, and those are easily able to escape from or break out of. So be careful with that. Now, the last training tool I believe you should have is going to be your 15-foot leash. Why? Because as you become more free with your dog and let him go explore a little more, it allows you to be able to recall him from 15 feet. So you can give him a little bit more freedom, but it's that step before going off leash that allows you to have more control. And then if your dog does run away and catch a little wind, he wants to go run around, you can catch him a lot easier with a long leash attached. Again, also your transition from 6 feet to 10 feet to say 15 feet, it really solidifies your recall and your dog learning to come back. So really working with that long leash, huge, huge, huge essential thing that you should have. Sometimes when you have your regular leash and then you have a 15-foot leash, you can actually have a second person pull your dog out of position with the 15-foot leash, and that really proofs the heel position or the recall position. So when you're having like a double handler situation and you're working on something, you're proofing, leash proofing, not distraction proofing, you'll be able to utilize that 15-foot leash and it'll be super helpful in the process. Also big with recalls with the 15-foot leash. That is going to really solidify your recall. If you guys are interested in finding the training kit that we provide at CaliK9.com, the link right here is in the description. You can hit our store up, you can grab some swag, you can grab some training tools. You might have a few things and just need the others, but it's all right there at the Cali K9 store. Guys, you need this stuff. It's just part of your training. It'll help you go so much further, so much faster. Again, I always like to say the right tools for the job is very necessary. If you're a plumber, you need plumbing tools. If you're a carpenter, you need carpenter tools. If you're a dog trainer or dog handler, you need dog training tools. And it's just gonna make the process a lot easier. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I have way more heat coming for you guys. Lots of game, lots of information for you to be able to keep absorbing it to take you to the next level of your dog training journey. Whether you are a handler or a trainer, we can help you with both of those. We train online with people from all over the world. We also help dog trainers who are trying to level up their business. Guys, I've done it 15 years professionally. I have my show, I have my celebrity clientele, I have all of these things that I've done that are working, and I help new trainers take their business to the next level. So if you guys are interested in learning more about how to become a dog trainer, make sure to hit the mentorship link and the coaching link on the bottom, and I'll help you take your dog business to another level. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.